Well, well, well. And if you threw a party and invited everyone you knew, then you would see the biggest gift would be from me. And the card attached would say, Thank you for being a friend. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, welcome. Welcome to Live from the Black House. Here on a different day, different time. Surprise, 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 surprise. We're here with a very special guest. We're going to get to that in a moment. You know, they don't make TV like that anymore. The Golden Girls, Family Matters, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I was a Frasier fan as a youth.
Good times.
Good times, They don't make it like they used to. But that's okay because there's the Black House. There's this podcast, and we're going to make it that much better. To my right, your left, you're going to see him in a minute. Well, actually, you can see him now because we're doing a wide shot.
Yeah.
We have a very special guest today. We have a very important election that's coming up this Saturday. Everybody's talking about Saturday. Everybody's talking about tomorrow. Everybody's CDA team, But 2 weeks after that, starting February the 17th, there's the primary, right?
That's right.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know about the primary. The primary is where both parties, actually there are more parties, believe it or not, the other two don't matter, but there's primaries that choose the candidate for each of the offices. And the person who's sitting to my right, your left, is a former precinct chair. He's going to talk a bit about that. I don't know. You were, and now you're not. We'll
That's
hear.
right.
I hear he writes 2 checks per year. And if he's elected, that's going to change. He's going to be writing a lot of checks, as I understand it. Ladies and gentlemen, to my right, your left, could he be the next Texas comptroller? Mr. Michael Lange. Is it Lange or Lange?
Well, for you, it's Lange, but for everyone else, it's Lange. And thanks for inviting me to your party.
Yes.
I really like it. It's fun here.
I threw a party. And the biggest gift would be from you.
Yeah.
And the card attached would say,
And
yes.
I'm a party guy too. I'm a Democratic Party guy.
There you go, Democratic Party guy. So you're running for Texas comptroller.
Yeah.
Comptroller. I'm confused because the city, Chris Hollins, is city controller.
Right.
Controller,
Okay.
yeah.
And then state is state comptroller.
That's right.
But first of all, why are you running?
Well, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Do you work hard for your money?
I'll be honest, I don't.
Okay. Well, let me ask you.
He's a rare case. Okay.
But I get the point that you're making. I get the point that you're making.
Maybe someone watching our party today
Yes.
works hard for their money.
Yes,
Yeah.
they work hard for their money.
And so I came from a family that didn't have a lot of money.
Okay.
And so we had to work hard for our money. I wasn't lucky.
Okay.
And I respect it. But more importantly, I respect very much all the people who actually have to work hard to make their money.
Yeah.
Why is that important? The comptroller of the state of Texas is the person responsible for your hard-earned money.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm running because I think we need a better comptroller, someone who's better at managing your hard-earned money.
Mm-hmm.
So you start actually getting, how would you like to get value for your money?
I would love that.
How would you like to get a bang for your buck, the best bang for your buck?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
right now,
absolutely.
for 30 years, we've had one party. And as I travel around the state, do you know what people say to me? No one says, hey, Durell, hey, Michael, I really think the state's doing a fantastic job with my money. I really don't. Not in terms of public schools, not in terms of affordability. And so guess what? We actually could use someone who's better at the job.
Absolutely.
And so I'm running because I think Texas needs a better comptroller, someone who cares about Texas, someone who cares about the people of Texas, but most importantly, understands how hard you work for your money, and you should get the best bang and value for your money. Really should.
I like that. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, in this political game, what's called an elevator pitch, right? And that was a master class on how to give a pitch when you're running for office, right? I think in addition to being a comptroller, I mean, if you win, right, I think you should do courses. I think you should do courses for candidates, because if you look at the other people that are in the primary, I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to get in trouble today. But if you look at some of the people running in other races and stuff, you know, they could use some of that.
Well, I think one of the things that I was always taught, I've been very lucky. And did you know the best way to solve problems with solutions? Keep it simple. So I have worked for 40 years in the business world. I've worked in Texas.
How have you worked for 40 years and you're 40 years old?
That's like, you know what? Durell? I didn't realize how good this party was going to get. Can I stay for a long time? I'm feeling younger. I'm feeling ready to go, man. I'm ready. And you know, if you're not careful, I'm going to start dancing and you're going to really be sad.
Exactly. For real. But
so it's like if you knew someone who had to have heart surgery, and let's say you actually loved and cared for this person, and you had two choices: a heart surgeon who's been doing excellent work on small and large operations for 40 years, or someone who's been watching someone else do it. Who would you choose to be your heart surgeon?
Someone who's been doing it.
So that's who I am. In this scenario, in this race, I'm the person that's actually been doing it for 40 years. I'm that heart surgeon. And so, hey, look, if you want to have the best possible outcome, wouldn't you want to have the best possible surgeon you could afford? And now I'm going to say, look, I'm here not because you need more of the same, but we need something different. We need change. And it's something that is, you have to care about what you're doing. And I'll give you an example. In the business world, the bottom line, as you probably know, is net profit.
Right.
It's cold, it's hard, and it's uncaring. But guess what? If you are a servant leader for Texas, you have to serve the people. You would be my boss. I work for you, right? Yeah. And so the bottom line isn't net profit. I can use all the skills I used as a heart surgeon for 40 years, but the bottom line is you as a Texan have to be safer and better off. Yeah. And imagine if every decision taken by the comptroller was looking after your money, you knew every time they do something, it makes me safer, it makes me better, and makes my life more affordable. Absolutely. Would that appeal to you?
It would.
Yeah.
Y'all, he came in hot. He's coming in hot.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Clock it. How the young people clock it.
Yeah.
So, Michael, what is your origin story? Like, where do you come from? Where did you grow up?
Okay. So, what is the classic American story? The classic American story is we're all immigrants, right?
Right.
So, I am the son of immigrants. My father came to this country as a very young man. He could not speak English. He did not have any money. And there's a little bit of a story, which I'll share with you.
Where did it come from? Because I'm not going to lie, Lange, I don't know.
Okay. So it's a great question. So here's a thought for you. Here's a little background. Imagine you're 13 years old and you're at the end of World War II. And the war is 1 week from finishing. And you live in a small farming town of about 1,000 people. And you're German. And you're a child. And you're starving. You're eating about one meal a day every 2 days. And they come up, and there was a very famous American general. His name was General George Patton. And he was very famous because he was very successful at fighting. And when he fought against the enemy, he just killed everybody. So at the last week, soldiers coming through and say, you have to run because Patton's coming and you're all going to get killed. So this is a little farming town with people who aren't soldiers. They're just farmers, right? So here's my father with his sister holding hands, standing on the street, waiting for the American soldiers to come, thinking they're going to kill him. And the American soldiers came up, tough looking guys. American soldier stood up with his machine gun. And my father says, maybe 8 feet away, and says, this is where I'm going to die with my sister and my parents behind me and everybody in the street. Wow. The soldier puts his hand in his little bag. And my father says, okay, they're going to start with hand grenades. You know hand grenades, right?
Yeah.
And then that's how it's going to start. But you know what that American soldier did? He pulled out a Hershey's chocolate bar and threw it to my father. Wow. So imagine, Durell, if you thought you were about to be killed by the first American you ever saw. But instead, that American soldier who's been fighting hard for months and doing all the things soldiers have to do, he sees a 13-year-old boy with a sister who's clearly starving, and he shares a chocolate bar with him instead of killing them. Now, that moment, Durell, is the moment my father decided, I'm getting out of this place and I'm going to become an American. And that's why I'm sitting here today at this party, because an American soldier took kindness on my father. And then on top of that, in those days, you had to have a high school degree. Now, interesting, did you know that in the 460 years history of my family, my father was the first person to ever graduate from high school?
Wow.
Because a teacher in that town went to his parents and said, look, your son's kind of smart. You really should let him finish, because in those days, if you were a farming kid at 14, you were pulled out of school, you had to go to work. That's the way it was, especially if you're a boy.
Yeah.
And if you had not had that high school degree, if you had not had that American soldier, I would not be sitting here at this party today.
Now, what's your name over there?
Seth. What's your name?
My name?
Yes.
Oh, Dakari.
I know you from way back. Dakari, you don't remember?
From when?
When you used to do, y'all were talking to the producer. Usually I would say, at this point, I would say, Quincy, give me the one shot. But you're not Quincy because we're not, y'all get the point.
Right.
So Dakari, give me the one shot.
Say that.
Listen, did y'all just hear the story that was told? Now this right here, we're still learning the origin story, but I want y'all to listen. He's either a lawyer, a teacher, or a businessman, because those are the three people that can tell a story or answer a question like that. I mean, I'm ready to pass the collection plate around. Okay, you can go back to the group chat. So what's really cool, I organized TEDx Third Ward, which is a TEDx event.
Yeah, sure.
And Miss Charlene is on the leadership team there, a curator. And I mean, a good story. I mean, that is wow, and the delivery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Deja said he did so good at the candidate forum at the Luke Church earlier this week. Stevie said, I need an elevator pitch for life. Okay? So, your stats are high. Your stock prices are high at the Black House. And so now I got to know, are you a lawyer, a businessman, or a teacher?
I am a businessman.
There you go.
But my mother was a teacher, and I've got two sisters who are teachers. And if the good Lord hadn't given me financial ability in terms of making money with money, I would have been a teacher. I love teaching.
My brother's a teacher.
And I do a lot.
And I wouldn't trade places.
And I do a lot of volunteer mentoring and teaching of people. So I do a lot of teaching. Yeah.
Man,
TEDx out.
He's really. I mean, I think he's beyond. I think he's like
that right there.
Are you an author as well?
I write things, but I write things more for family and friends. But they tell me I should publish one of my books.
I think you should publish one of your books, like when you came in here. So just so y'all know, the reason why we're in a different format today is because it's away from our normal Wednesday. And I'm writing a book, y'all. So newsflash. I've been working on a book for about probably like, I don't know, man, we're already at the end of, it's been like 8 weeks. Right. I've been working on a book. And so I have coaching on Fridays.
Right.
So when you walked in and I was like doing all of that, I was on this laptop right here. That's what that was. So I'm working on a book, and I think that you should too.
All right. Well, thank you.
I think that you should too. And I will say this, not only to you, but to all the other candidates. I will say, I think people, voters, remember your story and they remember you more than all of the details about your platform and about what the office is. And what really stands out to me, I'm like, okay, so he's a businessman. His father has this amazing story. Now I want a Hershey's bar. I'm going to get a Hershey's bar when I leave here.
Milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
No almonds.
I'm doing almonds now. I'm doing almonds. And he's an immigrant. It's like he's central casting for a statewide candidate. So congratulations on running. Take me back to the moment where you say, I'm putting my name on the ballot.
Okay. So because our family had no money, we were very close. But my parents said, it took my father 6 years to earn enough money to bring my mother here.
6 years.
So he had to work 6 years to get enough money to bring her here. But when they got here, they said, you know what? We've now committed our lives to being Americans. And by luck, we happen to be in Texas. So I'm very honored that good luck was on our side. So they also wanted to be good Texans. So they said, you know what? We need to do everything possible to do our job well. So the first thing they said, we have to understand how politics works in America. Because politics in Germany was very, very bad.
Right.
And so, and think about it.
Worse than today?
In Germany, yes.
I don't know.
I mean,
let's say,
we're
Durell, you know what the famous line is?
what is that?
Okay. History may not repeat itself, but sometimes it rhymes.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing a remix, right?
That's right.
Now.
That's right. And it's frightening, which is another reason I'm running. So I think public service and caring about people is just something our family's always done because we didn't have anything. We had to kind of live by some rules. And it was, number one, my father and mother always said, we were people of faith as well. So it was wherever you go, whoever you meet, you treat every single person, no matter how old they are or whatever, with equal respect. Always. Number two, always be the hardest working person in the room, but always be kind. And number three, remember, we're here because other people helped us. And so when we have an opportunity to help other people, we do that. And I'll share a funny story with you. My wife of 19 years, when we travel, she goes, I don't know what it is about you, Michael, but we can be anywhere in Texas and around the States, even traveling the world, because I've worked in 57 countries. Say, a stranger will walk up to you in the middle of Paris, in the middle of Sydney, in the middle of New York, in the middle of Los Angeles, and ask you directions. For some reason, something on your face says, I'm going to that person because they know what they're doing. And here's the funny thing. She goes, Michael, it's amazing because you always help them and tell them where to go. I don't know anyone's ever done that before. So before there was a Siri or Alexa for directions, there was a Michael.
That is wild.
So for some reason, I've always been a person who public service meant something to. So I always said that, I want to help people like me. And the best way I can help people is with what's in my DNA. And that's working with money, creating jobs, and helping people have more affordable, better lives.
Right.
And the comptroller's job is where that happens in Texas.
Sales. It's got to be sales. He's in sales. Like, that is an art to be able to do what you did. So Stevie asked, you've run for other offices before.
One time.
Okay. So what did you run for before?
Yeah.
Okay.
And take me back to like the actual moment. Like, are you looking at the other people that are running? Like, what goes into the choice to like jump in?
Okay. So I ran for Texas Land Commissioner in 2022 in the Democratic primary. And the original started in 2011 because even though I grew up in Houston, Texas,
which part?
In Meyerland.
Meyerland.
Oh, so which
Meyerland
high school did you go to?
Oh, Bel Air High School.
Now, if you said Westbury, you would have been like 4 for 4, and I would have been almost ready to co-endorse with Savant. But
so all I would say is this: that I have 3 sisters. They all went to Bel Air. And I went to strict Jesuit.
Okay. So you're ruined.
I'm a man for others.
There you go.
I'm a Texas man for others. So in 2011, my family were able to buy, because again, remember my family was a farming background, right? So he loved the land. He couldn't just sit around in Houston on the concrete and the asphalt. So we got a little place out in Waller County, kind of Hempstead, like kind of where Bluebell ice cream is, right? And so we had land. And in 2011, there was a terrible, terrible, horrific drought. And I've never seen our land so barren and so sad. And I became a real fan of the environment and the land. And so when I got to a point in my life where I could run for office, I wanted to run for Texas Land Commissioner. Why? Because the 13 million acres owned by the people of Texas is looked after by the Texas Land Commissioner. And I wanted to make sure that the land for today, for my children, my grandchildren, your kids, is going to be in good shape.
I don't want a kid, but continue. Don't put that on me.
And that's that job. And the second thing about the land commissioner's job is that a veteran, an Army American, is the reason why we're here. My father served in the Air Force as well. So I feel I owe a debt of gratitude to all the people who served in military services, and that's the land commissioner's job. So for reasons of passion, caring about the environment and land, and wanting to make sure that veterans in Texas got the best deal possible, I ran for land commissioner. First time ever running in my life. It got a little bit early, and I really enjoyed the experience. But what happened? Remember 4 years ago, COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So all of a sudden, Durell, imagine, rather than being able to go around the state of Texas, everything was on Zoom. And it's, if you want to run for office, it's not quite the same thing
It's the worst.
when you have to do everything on Zoom.
So
I talked with my family and my wife, and people came up to me and said, Michael, we know you ran for land commissioner last time, and I did much better. I had bets with people. They said, Michael, you won't even get 50,000 votes. Well, I almost got 200,000. Okay. And they said, look, in your DNA, you know what you're good at, and that's money and finance. You help people all the time. Why not think about running for the office of comptroller instead? Because that's the money in the state. And that's where you can really help make a big difference on everyone's lives. Because guess what? If you have a mediocre comptroller, everybody in Texas loses. If you have a good comptroller, everybody in Texas wins. Do you know why? You don't know why?
What is it?
Money isn't blue. Money isn't red. It's the same color for everyone.
Green.
So as Bill Clinton said, a rising tide lifts all boats. So if you have a comptroller, no matter who you are or where you live, you will win. Remember our family motto, treat everybody with equal respect. So it's a job where you can actually have a positive impact, where you can literally feel it, that things are better for me now. And that's the role the comptroller can do, which hardly any other person can do, for reasons I can tell you about.
There you go. Well, that is very fascinating. Take me back to actually, though, like that moment, like where you are deciding to run for state comptroller. Like, describe it for me. Where you made the decision. Is it after you talked to your wife? Do you and your family have like a sit down? Like, when you actually said, okay, I'm doing this.
Okay. So I've been a Democrat since the age of 16.
Okay.
I worked on my first Democratic campaign for city councilman in Houston.
Okay.
So I am not a professional politician,
Okay.
but I'm a businessman who does Democratic politics.
Okay.
However, I will say to you, in addition to being a precinct chair, I'm also a get out the vote voter register person.
Okay.
However, I've also gone, the DNC national conventions, the big show, I've gone twice. Once as a delegate for a presidential candidate, and once for the DNC on the rules committee for the convention.
Okay.
So I've worked at the Democratic Party at the DNC level. I've been a chair of a state committee.
Okay.
I've attended many state conventions as a delegate, a Senate delegate here in Houston. And so I've been in politics my whole life, but I'm not a professional politician. So I've helped people's campaigns in Houston for Chris Hollins, for Texas Supreme Court justices, for presidents, et cetera. So finally, someone said, Michael, all this time, you've been helping other people, but really people could use your help. And so when I ran for land commissioner, people thought, oh, well, that's just another guy running. But said, you actually did 4 times better than we thought. We think, would you consider running again? And so I always wanted to give back. And I thought, if I could use my skill set to help make people's lives better, why not do that? So people came to me and said, Michael, would you consider running again, but for comptroller? So then I had to go talk to the wife and say, look, obviously.
What did she say?
She was 100% behind it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. She's a
Tell me about your wife.
So she is a 5'2" blonde.
Okay.
She actually works in the art world.
Okay.
But her family background is also farming. So her family had a big farm, and then her father broke tradition, and he went into the Army. And so
Air Force and the Army, look at that.
Yeah.
Air Force and Army.
And so and because he was a very high-ranking officer, she as a young person lived in different countries around the world.
Oh, so you have a cultured artist, a creative wife.
Right. And so and she's highly intelligent, and I'm lucky she has me. So and she says, look, Michael, you're one of the most honest, real people when it comes to helping people I've ever seen. Again, why would people come up to you in the middle of cities we don't even live in and ask you directions? So I think you should do it. I really think you should. And I'm lucky in that I'm at a time in my life where I can devote the time to do it and make it happen.
You mentioned children.
Yeah, I've got 2 sons.
Tell me about your sons.
So I've got a 31-year-old
Okay.
and a 29-year-old.
Okay.
And
Who's your favorite?
Don't have a favorite. Don't have a
You're
favorite.
trying to get him in trouble.
Don't have a favorite. Life's too short, man. And they're too smart. But so I lived in London for a time, and so my sons have both American passports and.
Are you a real human? I mean, I'm just wow.
I have a very
Yeah.
for a guy from Houston, Texas. Let's say I have a very unique story.
You have a
Oh my
stacked resume.
gosh.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
so-
this is just I'm just fascinated,
Yeah.
right?
So I lived in London for a time, and my sons were born in London, even though they have American passports. And so both of them have decided, for some reason, they think working in London in their 20s would be more exciting than working in Houston. I can't figure it out, but that's
I could see
mean,
that.
if I had the choice.
Let me tell you something. If I was able,
yeah.
That's-
I wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, and I would say I'm very happy that both of my sons encouraged me to run. They said, "Look, we really think," and we're kind of family that on Sundays after church at the ranch we always had a big meal, and we'd often have friends over, so it was like a 3 or 4 hour lunch. You know,
Wow.
kind of those days we were growing up, and we talk about the world, what's happening, politics, sports, everything, music, everything, and so our background, because we didn't have money.
Yeah.
So we had to do things cheap.
You had
and
a
that was-
ranch.
well, but
Yeah.
I'm messing-
no, but it was hey, it was a heavily mortgaged ranch, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
my father had to do it. He said, I have to get this land for my soul. I cannot be restful unless I have land to go out to. I just can't go out to Memorial Park isn't big enough.
Yeah.
And so because I think 400 years of farming, it was in his soul.
Yeah.
And so we had to buy this small place to save his soul. And also it was a wonderful place to grow up. Trust me, rural Texas. So I grew up in the big city, but growing up in rural Texas, and I've got the barbed wire scars on my arm to prove it.
Yeah.
Horses and cattle from neighbors. We
You
didn't.
could see the stars because there's no light pollution.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
amazing. It was amazing and wonderful people. So I loved it. So I really have an understanding for how rural Texas works.
Okay.
And rural Texas has an issue right now, right?
That's interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what the
So-
Democrats, in my opinion, need to do more of. Like every 2 years, there's this full court press in the big cities,
Right.
and they're not tilling the land between cycles. See the reference that I did there?
Uh-huh.
10 points on the board. I like metaphor. It's an ADHD thing. But yeah, they're not doing that. So we do need more candidates that say, like,
Yeah.
the Democratic Party is not just a city party.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, imagine and think about this. If you had someone who's responsible for all the money that the people of Texas have,
Mm-hmm.
do you think it'd be a good idea to have someone who understands both city life and country life?
Yeah.
Because guess what? There's still a lot of people live in the country.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And what do? They just grow the food we eat,
Yes.
and they do the work that allows us to live in the city and get things.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a very important part of Texas as well.
Yes.
But you have to understand both. You can't just do one or the other. So
Yeah.
Right.
I'm this unusual person who, by luck, by nature, by my father and mother's needs for the filth of soul, I actually have the ability to understand. When I go out to rural Texas, I'm fine. But I can go in. I was in the East End this morning
Oh,
doing
yeah.
something. No worries, no
Yeah.
problem.
So other than and y'all feel free to chime in too.
Okay.
They've been like quiet and
I mean, you tell a
unceremoniously.
story, you know.
Yeah, I know. He just kind of
storyteller.
he's a good
Yeah.
storyteller. So we have the one and only Carisha Rogers, who is co-chair of the
Houston Progressive Caucus.
Houston Progressive Caucus, right here. Former
Yeah.
CD18 congressional candidate.
Yes.
Former staffer for the Harris County Democratic
Yes.
Party.
Mhm. And a good one at that.
And a very good one.
Very
People have
helpful.
nothing but good
Very
things
helpful.
to say about Carisha, right?
Yeah.
And then to your right flank, right? To your right, y'all's left, we have the one and only Charlene Jones. And let me tell you about Charlene Jones. I met Charlene because Norma Westgreen
Yeah,
was assembling a group. Do you know Norma Westgreen?
I've heard the
You
name.
have to meet Norma
Okay.
Westgreen. Okay, she's got a lot of stories too, and so she was assembling this group, and I was part of it, but like I do stuff too, and so we ended up having to all meet like at my place. Like it was her group, which I'm part of, and then the other group. And so I meet Miss Charlene, and I mean she's just a jewel.
You know,
Thank you.
when I look at Charlotte, we were talking earlier,
Mhm.
and this is a lady who served the people of Texas through the Postal Service
Yes.
for
Yeah.
decades.
Absolutely.
And to think about how important that is to us. So to have someone like this sitting next to me, it's an honor because she's been in her own way a servant leader. She's been a servant leader in
Not
her own
only
way.
that,
Yeah,
but as a
I have.
Democratic candidate who's in a primary,
There you go.
even more so why you would want to be sitting next to her is the fact
Right.
that she's connected to like everyone. A lot of people respect her. Her word goes
Thank you.
very far.
Right.
Yeah.
Not just having her support to be able to put her name on your literature,
Yeah.
but to have her on your side,
Right.
speaking in rooms where you don't have to be or where you can't also be is just, I mean, there are
Thank
people like her, Kathy Bluford Daniels,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not too many others that I can think of.
Right.
Verdell Dawkins.
Verdell Dawkins,
Here
Miss
we go.
Verdell.
Cecilia
Yes,
Fontenot.
Cecilia
Yeah.
Fontenot, who's
Cecilia
in
Fontenot.
everything. Let me tell you
Yeah,
something.
she's a staple.
Sister, do you know Cecilia Fontenot? You probably know her. You've seen her.
Right.
You just didn't know that was her name because she's
Matthew.
at everything. Matthew, yes.
Matthew put
Mhm.
Perdome, yeah.
His last
He's also
name.
on the Progressive Caucus
Yeah.
with us.
Yeah.
He's on that
Matthew,
board.
He's
Yeah.
excellent with data. He's
Right.
excellent
So,
with
so
data.
there's a lot of them. Other than running for office, running your business, running your family, planting, being on the ranch, what are some like your hobbies? Like,
Okay.
what's your
So I grew up because I'm 6'4", right?
really?
Yeah.
Stand up.
That's
How
my
big is
height.
it?
That's
You
my
can
height.
be. Let me see. Okay, okay, yeah. Okay, now Carisha, now you stand
I
up.
gotta sit up.
Okay.
Like,
Okay. I just have to see.
So and because
So that's why they ask you for the directions.
yeah.
They ask you for the directions because you're tall.
That's right.
Yeah.
And because I'm and they see me
Yeah, they see you.
on that
Yeah.
on that beacon now.
Exactly.
So as you know, born and
Mhm.
raised in Texas
Mm-hmm.
and being 6'4" and having done work on the ranch, I was not a small guy when I was young.
Right.
So football coach comes and says, "Why don't you come over here and talk to me?" So I love football. I
Yeah.
love football. I love
Yeah.
playing football. I played on the state championship football team in my
For who?
senior
Wow.
year. Straight Jesuit, my senior year.
Okay.
Great Jesuit.
My senior
Okay.
year, and state championship baseball team my senior year as well. First baseman. So I love sports, and so but I love.
He's like an AI character in a movie. Oh
It's
my
all real,
God.
but it's all authentic. It's all real.
Yeah.
So I have many things, but I love sports, and
Okay.
I especially love football.
So what did you think of the Texans? So I'll be honest.
Yeah.
And we were just having this conversation on the last podcast. A lot of people, and I just had this conversation with Miss Annie Benefield this morning. She was like, "Why don't people care about voting?" And I was explaining to her, like, I don't know about sports.
Yeah.
So when I sit in the barbershop and they're talking about who's trading who and what's going on where, I'm just right. I don't get it until the Texans were going to be in the playoffs.
That's right. That's right.
Right. So now I go and I buy a Stroud jersey.
Yeah,
You know, and I put
absolutely.
it on, and
Absolutely.
and now like it's
Yeah.
simple enough to where it's like, okay, so if they win, then they have to beat this other team, and then they'll be in the Super Bowl.
That's right.
That's close enough for me to pay attention.
Right.
And I think that's why a lot of voters only care about the presidential,
There you go.
because it's the same. Just use that metaphor. It's the same thing. And so, you know, I truly believe that, like, I don't know. We there's a lot of interest that's there.
Yeah.
You know, you have a lot of people who watch Baddies and Real Housewives
Yeah.
and all these reality shows that are otherwise. It's in politics. If you pay it, if you watch the show,
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
okay, every Wednesday,
That's
just
right.
follow along, color
That's
by
right.
number. But no, I think that's fascinating. So
Yeah.
so football, you're watching the games. What else?
I love to eat.
Okay,
I like eating.
Okay.
I'm a big eater.
Favorite kind of cuisine. What's your favorite kind of cuisine?
I got to say to you that I'm not opposed to a good barbecue.
All right,
Okay,
there we go.
okay, good. Rural.
And Durell, because I grew up in rural Texas,
Yes.
I actually know my way around a grill.
Okay.
right.
Okay. Brisket. We may have to do that.
Brisket, chicken, sausages, I can do it all.
We need
Okay.
to come to the ranch.
We need to come to the
Yeah.
ranch.
We need to come.
to the ranch.
Only if you're hungry though.
Yes.
Only come hungry.
Speaking
Okay?
of the ranch, you know Dwight Boykins has a ranch.
Yes.
Now, I endorsed Alejandra in the runoff.
Rest.
And before I did, I called him and let him know that I was going to do it.
Yeah.
And I said,
Yeah.
Dwight, hopefully I still get to come to the ranch. And that was kind of a, like, hopefully we're still good,
Right.
you know. And he was like, yeah, you can come to the ranch. I didn't get an invitation to the ranch.
I see.
I did not get an invitation.
I
So
see.
maybe I'll go to Michael's ranch.
There you go. There you
I'll
go.
go to Michael's ranch.
Yeah.
But I kid. Listen, because some of them, you know.
And there's one other thing too.
Yes.
So I love my food.
Yes.
Love my sports.
Yes.
I mean, politics, that's a given, right?
Yeah.
But there's one other thing that I really enjoy doing, and this is something we do as a family.
Okay.
So it's not just me alone. It's with my sons. I've big Catholic family. We've got lots of nieces,
Yes.
lots of nephews. We're big in the faith of my family. Road tripping around Texas. I can tell you, Durell, we have had
Never done
some of the most beautiful, fantastic family experiences just going around meeting people in Texas. And Texas is such a different place. You really feel you're in different countries.
That's true.
Right.
And whether you're driving out to West Texas, or you're driving the Rio Grande Valley, even through Central Texas, East Texas, Texas is just an amazing place to go through. And I love it. And so when people say, Michael, you've been through 75 counties so far, driven 40,000 miles. I've been everywhere in Texas. There's no part of Texas I haven't been to, but everything is a family experience. My sons even though they live in London, people are like, how do you know so much about Texas? Because we've been everywhere in Texas.
Yeah.
And so road tripping is a great way to build family togetherness, but also have shared experiences that people never forget.
Charlene, Carisha, do y'all go road tripping? When is the last time you went road trip? My last road trip, there's a group called Tank and the Bangas.
Oh, right.
Okay. Tank and the Bangas, I found them through Tiny Desk. And so me and a friend, we go to New Orleans. Okay. I don't remember the trip being that long.
Right.
6 hours is different when everybody can drive.
Right.
Right.
But my friend didn't drive. Only I drove. So I had to drive all 6 hours. We ended up running out of gas.
Oh my! Not on the Chaffalaya Bridge.
No. So we ran out of gas because, and he had just said, "Do we need to stop and get gas?" And I was like, "No." It was when we had the debrief call from TEDx Third Ward, and what's her name couldn't lead it. Long story short, I got just tied up, and next thing you know, I'm hitting the gas, and it's not going. Right. So pull over, finish the call. AAA. It's nighttime, by the way.
Oh.
So I was just talking about the light pollution. I hadn't seen stars in so long.
That's right.
So I was like, wow. And we were like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
The AAA luckily called the neighborhood. So AAA connects us with the tow truck. I mean, we were in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So the guy with a very thick Cajun accent is like, and I'm not going to imitate it because I'm not going to get in trouble. We're not going to get in trouble today. He says, I'm going to come and get you. I got to run to Baton Rouge and do such and such, and then I'll come your way. And I'm like, what? But it's rural. So it's not, if I was in Houston, I would have had somebody in 20 minutes.
That's right.
And so, we kind of just sat out there and just like, wowed. I downloaded this app and I got to see all the constellations and all that stuff. So it was really.
So, Durell, are you a nature? Do you love nature at all?
No.
Okay. Do you like pretty things?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to make one suggestion to you.
Okay.
If you're going to do a road trip, I want you to go all the way to the Panhandle, and there's a place called
the Panhandle. I was with you. Okay.
Hang on. Do you like a good steak?
Yes.
Okay. So you're going to go to the Big Texan Steakhouse in Amarillo, and then you're going to drive to the Palo Duro Canyon, which is kind of the Texas version of the Grand Canyon, smaller, but it's stunningly beautiful. Go there at daybreak and spend the whole day, and then learn the history of what's happened at the Palo Duro Canyon. Right. And here's the thing about the Big Texan Steakhouse. I'm a big eater, right? Yeah. So I had my older son is 6'5", and my other one is 6'3", and I've got nephews all over 6 feet. We're a big family, big tall family, right? And at the Big Texan Steakhouse, they give you a certain size steak. I think it's 96 ounces. If you can eat the whole thing in less than 1 hour, it's free.
Oh.
So we walked in there. I didn't do it, but we had my sons, everyone else won. They were like, man, we haven't had 4 people win in one day at one table ever.
Wow.
So that shows you what we can do.
What are some of your Houston spots?
So my favorite taqueria. Okay. If you just want great Tex-Mex food and a really wonderful environment on navigation, there's a place called Doña Maria.
Yes, it's a very small. It's very small.
Baker Ripley near Baker Ripley.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of almost across from the old Ninfa's.
Yes,
but it's the people there are so friendly.
Yes,
the food is wonderful. The menu is huge.
Yes,
but it's a legendary place. I mean, politicians hang out there. Sports. We have musical bands who are doing concerts at Toyota Center. All of a sudden, they're at the Doña Maria. Like, wow. Yes. So it's an amazing little place. That if you love that type of food and you love good conversation and fun people, the Doña Maria Navigation is the place you got to go.
What about you, Carisha?
Yeah, or my favorite food spot, I of course am a barbecue fan, so I always love my Rays and Buds over in my part of town.
Okay, raisin.
So if I'm going to do barbecue,
Yeah.
because the ranch is near Brenham,
Okay.
there's a place that moved from Brenham to Houston called
Okay.
The Truth.
Oh.
Now,
Okay.
The Truth is off Washington Avenue.
Okay.
And that is the Truth there. It's a big restaurant. But the original Truth restaurant is just outside Brenham, like 2 miles outside Brenham.
Okay.
And basically, it's in a house that's no more than 10 feet wide and about 14 feet long.
Wow.
And they are some of the best barbecue. So The Truth on Washington is another good place I'd go.
I would say
Never heard.
I'm
Sparkle.
curious now.
Sparkle Burger. You know
Yes.
Sparkle Burger?
Love
Yes,
Sparkle
I
So
have.
Sparkle Burger, now she's high society. She's in a building. But she used to be in a little trailer, would you call it? I don't even know if you call it a trailer because it was a small. And you're going to wait 20 minutes for a burger.
Wow.
But it is
Yeah.
going to be the best burger and the
Yeah.
French fries, I mean, that you have ever had. The milkshakes, everything. I haven't had it in a while, but that's one of my favorite spots. What
I
about
like
you, Michelle?
Papados.
Really?
And there's a baked potato place on MLK.
I think it just closed down. The paper.
I hate that. I saw something about
Yeah.
that.
Michael By was one of the. He called me the other day.
Huge big
Yeah,
baked potatoes.
he called me the other day. He used to be part owner of that, and I asked him about it. He was like, "Yeah, they got out of
I
it."
hate
But
that. I loved it.
absolutely.
And I'll tell you, are you a deli person at all? So
Little bit.
there's a very
Yeah.
special place in Houston that if you like deli food with a menu that is massive,
Okay.
it's just off Post Oak. It's called Kenny and Ziggy's.
Huh.
I'm a regular there. We have a great time there. The food is incredible. The service is wonderful. The vibe is amazing.
Okay.
And talk about a kind of a minor celebrity hangout.
Yeah.
Kenny and Ziggy's is a one-off. And if you've
Really?
never gone there, it's right on in Post Oak Plaza.
Okay.
You got to try Kenny and Ziggy's. I guarantee you will. The menu is so huge, you'll find something you like.
Okay.
And the other thing is, if you can't find it, they'll actually make something for you, custom
Mhm.
made, no
Kenny
problem.
Oh,
and-
wow.
Kenny and Ziggy.
Kenny and Ziggy's. It's an
I
amazing
heard of
place.
I got
So-
put that in memory.
So if you've ever been out to eat with me, I very rarely look at the menu. I'll usually ask the waiter or waitress what's good. And then if not, I'll off the top of my head, like ask, do you have this or do you
Yeah.
have that? And then they'll kind of do it. So you're riding around Texas a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's on your plate? What is on repeat? I'll go first. I don't know what it is, but I've had Tina Marie on repeat.
Yeah.
Tina Marie,
Oh,
all of her stuff.
yeah.
I've had her on repeat. I've been doing. Jill Scott has she has an album that's coming out.
Mary J. Blige stay in my head.
Mary J. Blige?
Yes.
Really?
I like Charlie Wilson.
Charlie Wilson, because she has that song. Charlie, is that?
Outstanding.
Does she have
My
Charlie?
name is Charlie. Last name is Wilson.
But is he the one that sings Charlie?
No, that's Anthony Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Now,
I like-
what
I
about
like
you?
Charlie.
Me, because I'm traveling a lot for the campaign.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of jelly roll.
Okay,
I like Jelly Roll.
Yeah,
With all
yeah.
the
A lot of Jelly
tattoos.
Roll.
Yes,
All the
yes.
tattoos.
Yeah, he's got some
Mhm.
soulful stuff. And when you're
Yeah, he
tired and you're cruising down the 100, you have 300 miles to go for your next meeting.
Yes.
Little jelly roll kind of like hits your soul.
Kind of hits it.
Hits
and
your
it kinda
soul a
picks
little
it
bit.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So you are running for office. You have a beautiful family. I mean, this is just so very cool. You're just very blessed.
Well, we've been very lucky,
Mhm.
but my parents always say, funny, the harder we work, the luckier we got.
There you go. That is just kind of how it works. So you're deep in Houston politics. Who are some of the people that you would say are some of the folks that should get their flowers in Democratic politics? I'll go first. And I was talking about this the other day. Of course, people like Miss Charlene and Miss Kathy and all them. But also, I would say people like Roshan Evans and Sasha
Mhm.
Leggett,
Pure justice.
Pure
Yeah,
Justice.
Pure Justice.
I'll say July McShay, who founded this amazing Houston Civics and Leadership Academy.
Yep. I'm going to class tomorrow.
You're going to class tomorrow?
Oh, no,
that's
actually
right.
today.
What,
actually
pretty
today.
politics? What
Pretty
is-
petty
She also
politics.
does Pretty Petty
Politics.
Politics.
Yeah.
She has a podcast. I'm going to say Stevie. So Stevie on TikTok. There's a lady who does Black Girls Who Brunch or Black Women
Oh yeah,
Who Brunch.
Erica.
Erica?
Yeah.
What's Erica's last
Erica
name?
who?
Right off the top of my head, I can't tell you.
But her name is Erica.
Yeah.
And she's really good. She does very good content. And it's crisp. I don't know if she
Yeah.
carries a light around here. For y'all that can't tell, I wonder what this looks like, but it is like looking at the moon. And people laugh. They're always like, why are you wearing shades?
Yeah.
Now you see why I'm wearing shades and I'm
That's right.
blind.
That's right.
You
That's
can't
right.
even look that direction. You have to
Yeah.
kind of, but yeah, Steve, I'm trying to think of who else. There's so many other people who don't get the attention, that are
Shay.
who?
Shay Jordan.
Shay Jordan, yes. Shay Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
Yeah.
That's my church member.
Yeah.
I mean,
he
there's
goes to the
also
Fountain of Praise.
Courthouse Couture, but she's on TikTok. She's also really popular as well.
Who would you say, Shirley? And who would you say?
I'm trying to think.
You're kind of a candidate. You can say names.
Shay
So,
would be a good one.
I'm going to take a little different, if I may,
Yes.
if you don't mind. I'm going
Mhm.
to take a little different path.
Mm-hmm.
So I do mentoring of younger people.
Ooh.
And the people I talk to or try to help
Mhm.
are people who want to work hard and be successful, but just maybe because of family reasons,
Mhm.
they just didn't get lucky,
Mhm.
right? Or they didn't
Right.
have the support they needed. And they just need someone to care and
Yeah.
listen to them. And these people can be 18, 22, 23, 24 years old.
Mhm.
And they come from a variety of backgrounds. And they just need someone to help them understand how to have America work for them,
Yeah.
Right.
to understand
Yeah.
how politics works for you. What does the mayor do?
Yeah.
What does a governor do? What does the comptroller do? And they're all like,
mean-
oh, wow. And just to help them understand. So they understand, they feel part of it, but more
Yeah.
importantly, they vote. And they start to understand one thing, Durell. Actually, my vote does matter.
Mhm.
Right.
And
Yeah, it does.
if you vote, you can make a difference in your life.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden you tell your friends and they start voting.
Mhm.
So to see the lights wake up, to see those people get
He
involved in
answered that very well.
politics,
Did y'all see what he did?
But it's
a
real.
masterclass. Let me tell you
but it's
something.
real. It's real.
He is very disciplined. Okay,
So
'Cause he will redirect.
Let me give you a
But I
fact.
love it.
Let me-
I love it.
I did volunteer work in East Houston
huh.
in a precinct that had a 13% voter turnout.
Okay.
We worked on it for 2 years. In 2024, it went from 13% to 57%.
Wow.
And that was
Good.
people engaging, understanding that actually, you know what? My vote
Yeah.
does matter and does
Yeah.
count. And it's my voice. My
Right.
vote is my voice.
Yeah.
And your voice needs to be heard.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you do work like that, because I think that's something that people younger have been asking for, is for people to actually help them
That's right.
read and actually learn
Right.
how to, learn that politics works for them, but also
Yeah.
let them be set up to be the next
Yeah.
leaders. And so you're doing that effort,
Right.
it's helping
Right.
more down
And
the line.
it's not just talking about, it's really a discussion about life.
Right.
What kind of decisions? How do you make a good decision?
Right.
Because I come from a poor background and I know that the steak I might eat tonight, on a Friday
Before
night.
you ain't eating steak.
Well,
Let me tell you.
no.
Let me give you a master class.
Yeah. But we might have shared that
Yeah.
once
I'm
every
messing
2 weeks
I'm-
between 6 people.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
And so when you come from that background, you help people think about the decisions you're making in your life.
Mhm.
Right.
And the decisions you make now has a huge impact what happens tomorrow and the next day. And sometimes people don't stop and reflect enough.
Yeah.
And because I've made mistakes, I mean, I haven't got everything right?
Yeah.
But I'm trying hard to be better at what I do.
Yeah. One of the things that's been really, I would say, because I'm 39, I'll be 40 this year, turn 40 in September. One of the things that I look back probably over the past 10 years or so, I've really been honing in on two different things. One, the fact that the people who you surround yourself with really do have a huge impact.
That's right.
And when I got to a certain point where I said, you know what, I want to be able to put on my mask first, because if I put on my oxygen mask, then I can help others. If
Right.
the plane is going down. Well, we all probably gonna go down. The plane's going down. But if there's some other reason to put your mask on,
Yeah.
Right.
and understanding also, like I started making, I do this ritual every year. A lot of people do New Year's resolutions. So this is the second year that I didn't go, but 2018 all the way up to 2023, I would go to Puerto Rico for a month.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
And I would get an Airbnb, and I would have different friends to come. And that was like my retreat. So I would actually, there's a Google Doc that goes all the way back to 2018 that I'm still I'm finishing it up now for this year, but I have a 18-page Google Doc that I do a reflection.
Right.
And it is, what are our goals for the year, of course, but also what's one thing from last year's list that you thought was going to be a huge hurdle that wasn't?
Yeah.
What is something that you didn't think would be a huge opportunity that turned into one?
Right.
Scan the past 5 years and so they're like these prompts, and now we got ChatGPT, so it makes it a whole lot easier.
There you go.
But I make a list of the people that I want to work with.
That's right.
Right.
So I have a list of people that not that I want to meet, but I actually want to meaningfully work with them. And sometimes it's me trying to pull them into a project, or it's me wanting to work directly with them on a project, or sometimes it is I need to be part of this group that they lead or something like that.
Right.
Once I started doing that, I'm like, why have I been wasting the rest of my life? Because it's so easy. The second thing is, and this is part interview. This is also a masterclass. This is they have a Young to Fix My Life. This is Durell Fix My Life. Now, the other thing is, I used to think that the person who made the best grades was the smartest.
Right.
I used to think that the person who was most qualified for the job would get it. That is not how the world works.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is all about who you know. It is all about how you've demonstrated your thing. There are people who literally try to copy off of some of the stuff that I need.
Right.
They'll see me and they'll try to copy it. And it's like, you don't even have the relationships.
Right.
Right.
You can't text these. You don't even.
Yeah.
And so it's like, but that is to say, if you start now and you're actually intentional about the things that you do.
That's right.
If you're a man or a woman of your word, people think that just because no one said anything about you not finishing X thing or you not following through, that no one knows. Everybody knows.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it tracks.
That's right.
And if you start with a set goal, start doing things not because it's popular. Like there are a lot of people that are twiddling their thumbs.
Yeah.
They are just drifting through life, and it's like, no, just concentrate on the things that you want to concentrate on.
Right.
Set realistic and unrealistic goals too, and react accordingly.
Yeah.
And it's so much simpler.
And there's something that I always tell the folks that I speak with and help with. And I said, your level of success depends a bit on your work, a bit on who you knew, and also, let's be honest, a bit of luck as well.
Yes.
Yes.
But I always say, think about this. And I said, in the morning when you get up and look in the mirror, if you're able to, just say this to yourself. If you truly want to get ahead in life, just say these little words. If it is to be, it is up to me.
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
If it is to be, it is up to me. And when you start realizing that it's your self-confidence, even if you're struggling, because guess what? We all do. Some will hide it better than others. But you have to create your own future. And if you don't have that base of desire, and it's they say ganas, you have to have the ganas, you have to have the desire. It's hard. And in today's world where everything is so competitive, you have to really do it yourself. It has to be in here first. And that's why I say if it is to be, it is up to me.
And I think a lot of times
Say that too.
we ask for things. We ask for things, but things always look different. Like my younger brother, he's the band director at Elsick High School.
Oh, wow. All right.
And so I remember him being a band geek. I'm a band geek too. Okay.
What instrument?
Trumpet, saxophone, keys.
The
cool.
great stuff.
Yeah,
Wow.
I play trumpet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
And so there's a difference between what it looks like when you're a band student and you look at the band director and you think like, oh, I would love to do that. Well, he eventually, graduated high school, majored in music at Stephen F. Austin, did this, did that. But now he's the band director. So when you're the band director, you know what you don't get to do? Play music as often.
That's right.
Because there's the administrative functions and there's all of this. And so a lot of the people that you look up to, I don't know which camera, but a lot of people that you look up to, that next level will require you to already do these certain things. Like if you want to hit the next level, you can't miss meetings.
That's right.
If you want to hit the next level, you have to read.
Right.
You have to listen to the podcast. You have to be prepared, because if not, you'll show up and no one will take you seriously.
That's right.
And it always looks, there's a lady, her name is Crystal Washington, and she wrote this post, and it usually comes up on my memories every year. She says, don't look at the person who's taking huge risks that's next to you.
Right.
And try to compare yourself to them.
Yeah.
Because they've been working those muscles out. I'm a risk taker. So like, for me to jump into a new project, I've kind of honed in on like what works and what doesn't. my yes is yes and my no is no. I'm very like confident because of all of my mess ups.
That's right.
From over the years. So
That's right.
a lot of people don't want to mess up.
That's right.
But it's like, no, that is part of you
Right.
getting to the point where
Learning.
where you're able to do those things.
Well, I think that's a great point. And, this is what I like to tell people. They'll go work for a business.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it doesn't work out. I said, hang on a second. Just remember one thing. Maybe it wasn't you.
Yeah.
Maybe just in this place you were,
Yes.
the culture, the people,
Mhm.
it wasn't your thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So you go to another place and all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're doing the same work, but everything works out well.
Everything is
And we
good.
all have to find places that work for us.
Yes.
Right.
And it doesn't mean it works forever.
Yeah.
So just because you fail one time, and to your point,
Right.
it's a learning curve.
Absolutely.
Right.
And anyone who's successful in life, and to your point, Durell, everyone who's been successful has failed more than they've been successful.
Yes.
But it's they weren't afraid to take that risk.
Right.
But a
Yes.
measured risk, right?
And I think it takes a little bit of, like, I would imagine running for office, just like starting a business, starting an organization.
Yeah.
This is my sort of decision-making query or whatever you want to call it, right? Criteria. What is the best case scenario? Boom, right? That's the ideal. It might happen, but maybe not.
Right.
What is the worst case? If I can deal with this, right? Maybe a little embarrassment. How much money are we going to lose? What opportunities are we going to lose? If we can deal with that, because we're going to land somewhere
In
Yeah.
between.
between there. And if you really flesh it out, you can't have analysis paralysis, which is where you're thinking too hard, but really
Right.
put thought into the thing and then be prepared when you jump. And then you just get better and better and
Yeah.
better every time.
And there's a metric, a way of kind of measuring that. One of the things I ask people when I'm talking to them, I said, you're 19, you're 22, you're 25. I want you to imagine your life at 40.
Mm.
And what do you want your life to look like? And let's
Wow.
assume you're not going to win the lottery.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't inherit any money.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Realistic. And then here's the critical thing. Write it down on a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter what it is. It's yours, right?
Mhm.
And then I said, look at that piece of paper and then ask yourself right now,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't get this, are you going to have any regrets?
Mm-hmm.
So have no regrets.
Right.
Don't push the envelope too hard, but just don't be 40 years old and
Right.
say, I wish I had. Instead,
Right.
do what Durell does. Do it.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
If you fail, it's a learning thing and just move on forward.
My first job, and I bring this up every episode, but that is fine because it's the Black House and I can do it. I bring it up every episode that my first job out of high school was working for the prison.
Oh, right.
And so when I hit 5 years, that was one of the best gifts because I didn't intend on being there 5 years.
Right.
And I remember when I got my certificate and I was like, oh my gosh, 5 years of my life are gone.
Yeah.
And I didn't plan on being here. And it was at that moment that I was like, okay, I have to figure something else out because me being told what to do and how to think and when to show up and everything is just not going to work. Now, I can't jump now and have that be the thing. But what I can do is say, okay, I don't want to do that here. And I can make the next job that I have, the next opportunities that I take are going to be the ones that set me up to one day
Right.
have enough options to not have to do it.
That's right.
And, eventually, that became the thing. There were a couple of years ago, a very lucrative contract. And I mean, it was lucrative, Michael. It was lucrative. Okay. But high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And so this was during the pandemic.
Right.
I was going to a therapist. And so my therapist gave me an activity. She was like, the next time that you're feeling really stressed or when you can't, write down what's going on.
That's right.
And then I noticed it's this, right? This was probably 30%
Right.
of my monthly income. And I let it go
Right.
when it was time to renew. And it's like understanding. We have a saying, when you play dominoes, you play dominoes
A little bit.
a little bit. You seem like a spades person. You play dominoes?
Oh, yeah.
I play
I'll tell
dominoes.
you.
I'm a dominoes guy.
Okay, we got.
Hey, growing up in rural Texas, you got to learn to
Okay,
play
I got
dominoes.
raised with some tough
Okay.
dominoes players.
Oh, I'll
They
tell you,
were
and it's
slamming those
serious and
things.
sometimes a lot of money too.
They say all money ain't good money, right?
Right.
Right.
They say all money ain't good money, and
That is
so
true.
I let them know, hey, in December, that's it. And they were like, well, is it the money? Is it the this? And I was like, no, it's it's y'all. That's right. I said it in a pretty nice way.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it was like a weight off my shoulders. So right now out there's someone who maybe you don't want to be the next Texas comptroller, right? But you don't want to do what you're doing today.
That's right.
Right? And you know, Steve Jobs had a saying, one of my favorite quotes, and I'm going to paraphrase it. He said, I would wake up in the morning and look in the mirror and ask myself, if today was the last day of my life, would I want to do what I'm about to do today?
Right.
And when the answer was no too many days in a row, he knew that he had to change something. And I think, if you want to get to the level, and I look at you and I say, wow, like this is cool. You're running statewide.
Right.
You have a beautiful wife who's an artist, right? And you have these just amazing stories. You do need to write the book, okay? And when you write the book, I want hey, we talk royalties. I'll take 3%, right? Because I'm gonna push, right? You may win this election, and if you do, you'd be a very fitting person, but to do so.
You know what I'd rather do instead? You know what I'd rather do?
What is it?
Because Texas is my home. I've got big family, sons, hopefully grandchildren one day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's really important right now?
What is that?
Because of the way the 21st century is evolving with artificial intelligence and how things are changing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's really important right now?
What is it?
Something the comptroller can do if they have the desire to do it.
Oh,
That's create jobs.
yes.
Yes.
Right now,
Yes.
I know people who have been right now, if you have a college degree in Texas, your unemployment rate is double that of a high school degree.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what's happening right now, as the big companies evolve, what's happening? You know those jobs that pay annual salaries?
Yeah.
Mhm.
That contracted amount.
They're declining.
Yeah.
The total number is declining.
Yeah.
Hourly work is growing, but not
Mhm.
annual salaried work.
Mhm.
Right.
Think about what happened yesterday. Amazon fired 30,000 workers in the last 4 months.
Yeah.
All those jobs, they weren't delivery guys. They
Yeah.
weren't working in the warehouse.
Yeah.
They were all corporate people on
Yeah.
annual salaries.
Yes.
And there's more coming.
Yes.
Why? Automation. AI is
Yeah.
taking their jobs. Well, it's not that we don't need them. We
Yeah.
just need fewer of them. Now, those people have done nothing wrong.
Right.
What if the comptroller, who looks after $338 billion of your money, but
Mhm.
spends $44 billion a year, if I gave you $44 billion and said, create jobs in Texas, could you do it?
No.
I can. And more importantly, this, jobs that are in
You the man.
Texas,
Yeah.
but stay in Texas.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
So
So,
rather than write my book,
yeah.
think about this for a
You can
second.
do it too. You can write the book
But
too.
you know what? I'd rather create
Okay.
jobs for children, grandchildren, and here's, you know what the secret is? What people have to understand?
What's that?
I work in small business now.
Mm-hmm.
44% of the people in Texas right now work in small business.
Mhm.
If you want to really be successful in the next 20 years,
Mm-hmm.
we have to take that from 44% to over
Yeah.
65%.
Yeah.
Because guess what? In small business, you're much more likely to have your job, keep a
Yes.
job, and keep it in Texas. So if you were the comptroller and you had the ability to spend that much money and say,
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to businesses in Texas, but make sure there's a lot of small business in rural Texas all over.
Mhm.
And guess what? And if you're a person of color or if
Mhm.
you're a woman, historically for decades,
Mhm.
you've been underutilized.
Mhm.
Let's
Right.
give special attention to that group because I want Carisha to have a business. I want Charlene to have a business. And I want her to hire people in their
Yeah.
businesses.
Right.
So why not give some of the state money, which is your money? It's your money.
Yeah.
I'm just
Anyway,
giving
yeah.
your money back,
Yeah.
but you have to want to do it. You
Yeah.
have to care.
Oh.
And that's what I'd rather do.
I've always found it interesting that they'll give you student loans, but they won't allow those same loans for like business. But then on the back end, I kind of understand that like student loans are like there's structure to it, and it takes a while for somebody to be like, I'm much more like a much better financial steward today
Right.
than I was 10 or 20 years ago.
Right.
It's like I understand that part. But at the same time, the days of this is the bill that we were sold. I was born in 86. I went
Right.
to school in the 90s. I graduated in 2005. This is what we were sold. Go get a college degree. Go work for ConocoPhillips or Shell or blah, 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 blah.
Government.
Give them 20 years of your life. You'll slowly increase in pay. Go, do the house, the 2 kids, 2.5 kids, that thing, and then you'll be okay. Well, they pull the rug from under us.
That's right.
And I would say, and I'm not exaggerating, I would say 80, 90% of the people that I know that have degrees are either working way outside of what they got their degree in.
Absolutely.
I would say 90%, 9 out of the 10 people that I know
Absolutely
are working outside of it. So they're either unemployed or underemployed. I know
Correct.
so many people
That's right.
with bachelor's and master's degrees that are doing a job that, like, they were sold a wolf nickel.
That's right.
Not only and I think, society, the state, the federal government has to atone for that, because it will eliminate the progression of an entire generation. And that's me. So I'm going on 40. I'll be 40 this year. When I look at the people who are in their 20s,
right,
and I wonder, we actually had somebody, I'm running a nonprofit called Houston Justice, and we hired these students to do this GOTV work back in 2024. And I remember we were sitting at a pizzeria, and we were doing all this work to turn out voters. I asked them, have y'all voted yet? And all 4 of them were like, no. And so Adonis was with me. And Adonis was like, our people died and this and that. Well, actually, I said, well, are you planning on voting? Because, early vote ends this day and the election day is that day. And they were like, no. So Adonis did his whole our people died thing. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, no, let me hear them. And one of the guys' name, I don't want to say his name, but one of the guys was a TSU student, and he was working at a warehouse, and he was getting 30 hours a week at $10 an hour.
Wow. That's
$600 every 2 weeks before taxes, right? He was working for us. I mean, we do, at least $15 an hour, because that was the big ask. And when you add all that up, you see that it's really messed up for certain people. So
that's right.
As state comptroller, can you tell us a little bit more about like what the comptroller actually even does and how it could have an impact on that guy? We'll call him John. That's not his name, by the way.
Okay. So let me say first, did you know that the state comptroller is the least sexy job in Austin? Think about it. You have senators, you have representatives, you have governors. Even the ag commissioner can be sexy for some folks, okay? But the comptroller, you know why?
Why?
Because the comptroller is about the real. It's about kitchen table issues. It's about your money. It's about jobs. It's about affordability. It's about disability payments. It's about healthcare. It's about water. It's about electricity. All those things that actually matter. That's what the comptroller does. Think about this. Were you aware that the comptroller is an independent agency?
I knew that part.
That does not report to the governor, lieutenant governor. You're independent. Why? Because you're supposed to take care of the people's money, which means other people shouldn't be able to tell you what to do.
Right.
So every session, who tells the governor, who tells the legislature in Austin how much money, your money, they get to spend? The comptroller. And guess what? It's not negotiable. So let me ask you this. Who do you think's more powerful in Texas? The comptroller or the Texas Rangers? I don't mean the baseball team.
The comptroller.
And the comptroller.
Or the Texas Rangers.
Not like it's you. The
Sounds like comptroller.
The comptrollers, you know why? Would you like to know why?
They control their...
No, because you have the ability, because it's looking after your money, to audit everything in Texas. Businesses, government agencies, individuals. Because if your money's involved, no one can stop you. And if you find fraud, you actually call in the Attorney General. You call in the Texas Rangers to come get them. So I want to make sure that you work hard for your money. Why shouldn't it be not corrupted? Why should it be looked after properly? So the audit function of the comptroller is very important. But think about this. The comptroller doesn't make laws, but every day. So the legislature, they work 140 days once every 2 years. The comptroller works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why? It's the cash flow of the state. It drives the economy. If the comptroller isn't doing their job, Texas has a problem. Jobs fail, everything stalls. So you really make things happen. So it's the kitchen table stuff. You're not giving big, wonderful speeches. You're not giving sugared syllables. Oh, wow, I'm inspiring. But you know what you are? You're the person rolling up their sleeves, making things happen and making sure that you get your money, you get your money, and you get your money, and you get your services. And if the comptroller's not doing it right, and by the way, what did we say at the beginning of this party? Most people are not happy with their money.
Right.
So we need a better comptroller. So if you want a better comptroller, you got to have someone who cares about Texas, all of Texas, rural Texas and city Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
But maybe someone who cares about tomorrow, because one of the most important things is you got to get Texas future ready.
Mm-hmm.
Water. $20 billion of your money is about to be spent on water, because you may be aware around Texas, there's some severe water problems.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
$20 billion. The comptroller's going to look after all that to make sure you and people all over Texas have water. Let me give you one thing that's really important to you. How important is broadband and connectivity to you?
Very.
So if you believe like me, how would you feel about this? If I told you life's essentials in the 21st century, food, water, power, and broadband.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Corsicana last week, 50 miles below Dallas. We're talking to about 200 people. I asked, how many of you have problems with broadband connectivity, getting on your cell phone or whatever? 70% of the people raised their hand. So think about this, Durell. In the 21st century, Texas doesn't even rank in the top 10 in the US in broadband connectivity. It's available. Who's responsible for all the broadband quality in the state of Texas? The comptroller. So if you have a comptroller who wants to make sure people in Lovelady, Texas, Amarillo, Texas, Eagle Pass, Texas can watch your show, can go to make a doctor's appointment, can go do something to get paid an invoice for a bill, you need to have at least 2 bars. What if you had a comptroller who said this? If you vote for Michael Lange, one of the first things I'm going to do is change the way broadband works in Texas. And I'm going to make sure everybody, I don't care where you are going to get two bars of coverage at least 99.9% of the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. How much would that make your life safer? If you're driving and you lose cell phone coverage, if you're trying to do something, you can't get it. That little thing, it's kind of boring, but it will change your life, because from now on, I never have to worry about making a call. I never have to worry about getting a connection to the podcast. It's there. Just think about that. And that's doable. The technology's there. Durell, the money is already there. But you have to have a comptroller that actually cares enough to want to do it, and not do it so their friends make a ton of money. Do it so the people of Texas get the right service they desire. And by the way, remember the seal of Texas? You ever seen the seal of Texas? What are the words on that seal? What are the words on the seal? It says, the great state of Texas. It doesn't say the mediocre state. It doesn't say the below average state.
Right.
So why does anything, the standard as a servant leader serving people should always be, it should be amongst the best. So why stop at America? Why have the best broadband coverage in Texas? In America, why not have the best in the world? So everyone knows, if you're a small business owner, if you're a doctor, a lawyer, if you're doing podcasting, I'm in a place on the planet.
Yes.
Whether you're in Lovelady, Eagle Pass, Dalhart, Brownsville, Houston, Dallas, I've got the best broadband set up in the whole world. So automatically, if you want to work here, you don't even have to worry about that.
Right.
Just that little change. The comptroller can do all that if they understand how to get things done and they want to, because the money and technology is there. That could change people's lives. Just that one little thing. Think about that.
Well, folks, it's Friday.
Right?
It's Friday, TGIF. And this has been a nice additional, so glad to have you with us today.
My pleasure, Durell.
And I don't know what plans you have. I'm going to be voting tomorrow because
you haven't voted yet.
I haven't voted.
I always early
Gotta get out.
I haven't voted. Well, we were part of the lawsuit to
Right,
do that.
right,
that whole
right.
thing. And I don't know, life just kind of runs away from you. And I didn't get to vote yet. So I have to vote tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow if you live in the old CD18. Michael Lange or Michael Lange, thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Carisha.
Sure.
Thank you, Billy, Zakia, Rosie, Deja, Stevie, and everybody else that will see this later, because it's going to be, live. Thank you for being here. It has been really enlightening. I'll say, seriously, you are a great storyteller. It's very compelling. Usually I kind of wrangle with people, but I couldn't, because you have my attention. Right? And folks said
the nice thing is, Durell, it's all real.
Yeah.
It's authentic. Yeah. And there's no AI here.
Can I see your watch? What kind of watch is that?
It's a hill figure.
Oh, it's a hill figure.
Yeah.
See, he's a man of the people. He's a man of the people. I thought it was going to be something else. But with that, thank you all for joining as well. Don't forget to vote. Like I said, tomorrow is Saturday from 7 to 7 p. And also February 17th, early vote starts. You'll have the opportunity to maybe vote for Michael Lange
Right.
for Texas Comptroller. If he becomes the nominee, the Democratic nominee, then you'd get the opportunity to vote for him again in November. Lots of very interesting races that are going on. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being a friend, right? And if you threw a party and invited everyone you knew, then you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, "Thank you for tuning in to the Black House."